And wrapping up our look at the Minnesota Vikings' massive historical 15 draft class. Take a look at the day 3 Jamokes who came in and donning the purple Minnesota Vikings. Starting with the 4th round, which I think could be a pretty historic 4th round. I think that Wonnum, Lynch, and Troy Dye all could become potential starters or potential high-level contributors on the Vikings, which is pretty damn exciting. So starting off with DJ Wonnum, 4th round pick, number 117 overall, coming out of South Carolina, 6'5", 258-pound senior. In 2019, he had 4.5 sacks, 26 pressures, and a 70.8 PFF grade, as well as did play some hand of the dirt defensive end, was a team captain, played some stand-up linebacker, also has experience as a stand-up linebacker in the A-gap. Combine-wise, he was long, he was explosive in the jumps, he's extremely agile for his size. So, I mean, there's a lot of questions, like, is he going to be Danielle Hunter 2.0, or is he going to be the replacement for Anthony Barr? Now, he's a touch slower, a touch less agile, touch less quick than Anthony Barr in the combine drills. But, I'm intrigued because I don't even think the Vikings know exactly what the plan is going to be at Wonnum, whether it's going to be co-defensive coordinator / linebackers coach Adam Zimmer's project with Wonnum, or co-defensive coordinator / defensive line coach Andre Patterson, or is it going to be part of both? Certainly could. Where Wonnum, as he's getting his feet wet in the rotation for a year, maybe 2, is playing some handler or defensive end, playing some linebacker, doing all those things, but just a lot of people were sort of like, on the pick, but I fully understand that since you're drafting for the future, give Andre Patterson, Adam Zimmer just this amazing ball of clay to do what they do with him. Also in the 4th round, the middle pick, 130 overall, James Lynch coming out of Baylor, the absolute heart and hustle, ham sandwich and $10 type player, 6'3", 295-pound junior, former 3-star recruit from Round Rock, Texas. 2019, 70 pressures, 19.5 tackles for loss, 13.5 sacks, was just absolutely amazing for Matt Rule's final season in Waco. Unanimous first-team All-American, 2-time first-team All-Big 12, as well as Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year last season. And he's a guy who fell because he's not the biggest, he's not quick enough, he's not this, he's not that, but man, he can bring it. Now, where's he going to play in the league? Like, is he quick enough to play every down edge? Maybe. Is he big and strong enough to play defensive interior every single down? Maybe. But either way, just get him on the field. Like, I honestly do not care. I love James Lynch. Also in the 4th round, number 132 overall, Troy Dye, linebacker out of Oregon, 6'4", 231. Now, this is a guy that maybe could replace Barr. Now, more of a coverage guy, does need to add a little bit of size, be stronger at the point of attack, but was a 4-year starter for the Ducks, was a 2016 freshman All-American, became a team captain. 2019 as a senior, put up a 77.4 PFF grade, 84 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 2 picks, helped lead Oregon to a Rose Bowl win, as well as he was 3-time second-team All-Pac-12, which is always a bridesmaid. Always Susan Lucci, but 2017, 2019. And here's a guy, great coverage skills. I think eventually could take over for Eric Wilson. We talked about quite a bit. I think that he could be the heir apparent for Jaron Kearse. I think he could fill in as that safety hybrid linebacker role because he's phenomenal. He can fly. He's up there in terms of mobility with Eric Wilson, with an Eric Hendricks. So pretty pumped to get Troy Dye in the 4th round. 5th round, another cornerback. Zimmer just tripling up on cornerbacks. 5th round, 169 overall. Nice. Cornerback Harrison Hand out of Temple. Now, he started his career at Baylor, teammates with James Lynch, as well as UDFA linebacker Blake Lynch. But after 2 years, decided to transfer closer to home, back to Temple University. 6 foot, a $197. Final season at Temple, 59 tackles, 3 picks, 5 passes broken up. Now, we've talked about, I think that cornerback room could be a little bit crowded, so potentially I can see Harrison Hand moving to safety. Seems to be the scuttlebutt at this point. But I mean, if you cut off the draft now, that's an amazing haul. That is a great draft for the Vikings. But the fact that you still have 7 more picks, just Spielman done lost his damn mind. But maybe it makes sense considering what's going to happen with the salary cap. Conspiracy theories. 5th round pick. Second wide receiver off the board, number 176 overall. KJ Osborne from, that's just a U being the U, baby. 5'11", 203. Initially started at the University of Buffalo. Helped make Tyree Jackson into a folk hero. Remember him? Yeah, like everyone and their mom's like in the 2019 draft. Oh, at worst it'd be a 4th round pick. Maybe he'll sneak into the 2nd round and then undrafted. Strong arm, zero accuracy, zero touch whatsoever. But Osborne in 2018 had a decent season, 53 catches, 859 yards, 7 touchdowns. Grad transferred to Miami. That's just the U being the U, baby. 2019, 50 catches, 547 yards, and 5 touchdowns. But also, he was drafted primarily for his return prowess. Had 12.1 yards per return career on punt returns, as well as 19.6 yards per return on kicks. So I think that he will make the roster. I think he'll be the Vikings wide receiver 4 or 5 to start, as well as he'll secure one of, if not both, of the return jobs right away. Into the 6th round, 2 picks there. Number 203 overall, offensive tackle Blake Brandel coming out of Oregon State. 6'7", 308. Now, he's certainly fitting in the mold of the Brian O'Neill, of the Ezra Clevelands of the world in terms of long, tall, a little bit skinny, but super athletic. Started 48 games for the Beavers, played 839 snaps at left tackle for the Beavers in 2019. Posted a PFF grade of 90.0 as well as a pass block grade of 93.1. Also allowed only 1 sack and 5 pressures last year. And also, his quarterback was Jake Luton, Jake Luton makes Nate Stanley look like Usain Bolt. He really does in terms of mobility. So Blake Brandel was phenomenal for an immobile quarterback last year, and I think he could be an intriguing prospect. He was a team captain, 2nd team all Pac-12 last year. I think he eventually could work his way into the swing backup tackle role that's currently where Rashad Hill is. So I don't know, Brandel, maybe he makes a practice squad. Maybe he's surprised makes the roster, but intriguing for sure. Also intriguing, the other 6th round pick, 205 overall, Josh Metellus coming out of Michigan, 5'11", 209, team captain as a senior. 2019 had 74 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 2 picks, 5 passes broken up, as well as a 76.2 PFF grade on 840 snaps. Big Ten honorable mention, and he is a really nice like hybrid safety. He can play a little bit of free safety, a little bit of strong safety. He's not really better suited for either one. But also, you look at the safety depth. I mean, behind Harrison and Anthony Harris, there isn't much. It's Josh Metellus. So he could have this major opportunity here where if one of them do happen to, knock on wood, alien abduction, he could be on the field. He could, but initially could absorb some special team snaps, could take over some of that J-Ron Curse work as well. Yeah. And then also the Quattro, the 4th, 7th round picks, just like last year. 225 overall, Kenny friggin' Willekes, the Rudy of the team, coming out of Michigan State, 6'3", 264 pound edge rusher. He was initially a walk-on at Michigan State. Worked his way up into a scholarship. Redshirt junior year in 2018 was the breakout season. 78 tackles, 20 and a half tackles for loss, 8 sacks. Last year, 2019, 10 sacks, 48 pressures, was named the Spartans' defensive MVP. And here's a guy who fell in the draft because he doesn't have all the greatest physical tools in the world. But, I mean, a lot like James Lynch, I think Kenny Willekes could just, through sheer will, just get himself on the field and stay. It certainly is a possibility. Also in the 7th round, so the first draft pick to sign, probably because they offered him the least, quarterback Nate Stanley. No, it's a joke. It's a rookie wage scale. But Nate Stanley, who I spelled his name wrong. Ah, well. All right, so Nate Stanley coming out of Iowa, 6'4", 235-pound senior. As a 3-year starter for the Hawks. And Iowa fans will tell you, meh, sort of all over the place. Strong arm, absolute cannon. Accuracy, not great. Had a pretty decent 2018 when he had Hawkinson and Fant, but 2019 fell off to a degree. 2,951 yards passing, 16 touchdowns, 7 picks. Career, 58.3% completion percentage, 7.2 yards per attempt, 68 touchdowns, 23 picks. All those aren't great. But the Vikings obviously see something with that arm strength. Maybe they can teach him accuracy. That's something that hasn't traditionally been. Where it's like, oh, Josh Allen, mama, we can change him. I don't know. Last 2 picks, number 249 overall, safety Brian Cole II out of Mississippi State, 6'2", 213. Like we mentioned, the safety video initially started at the University of Michigan as a wide receiver, transferred to East Mississippi Community College, last chance U. Eventually got on the field with the Bulldogs Mississippi State in 2019 as a redshirt senior. 12 games, 67 tackles, 7.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and a pick. Now, I think that he's much better suited to be a box safety, so maybe he could work into some of that J-Ron Curse type role, but coverage-wise, even though they did have him primarily playing slot cornerback at Mississippi State. Oh, teammates with Cameron Dantzler. Chemistry. There you go. And lastly, maybe my favorite pick of the draft. Not going to lie, big hitting Kyle Hinton coming out of the University of Washburn. Go Ichabods. 6'2", 295. A 3-year starter at left tackle at Washburn. 33 of those starts on the blind side. 33 starts on the blind side. Nailed it. 2019. Senior was a Division II All-American, was also second-team All-American in track and field. I believe the hammer toss was his game. It's great. Also at his pro day, 4.88 40, 34 reps on the bench, 34.5-inch vert. So you have this super strong, super fast, super sudden athlete who is just getting started, where day one, he's got NFL strength. Day one, he's got an NFL anchor, and he does project to kick inside. There's been some talk about him working at center, but yeah, it's just unfortunate there's no offseason, no preseason, because I would love to see what Kyle Hinton can do on the field. I think he would impress early on, but just going to have to show in practice at training camp. So I think a couple years, Kyle Hinton could actually be a really big player on the Minnesota Vikings. And that's it. That's a recap of day 3 and how we see these guys projecting and fitting in with the Vikings this season. What are your thoughts on our thoughts? Let us know in the comments section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. If you want to support the work, put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull, production value.